On Thursday's video, I shared my story about my day when I lost my job and some of the emotions and things that you go through. In today's video, we're going to look at the 5 things really, that you must do next. And we're not talking in a month's time, we're talking this week, now. And the first thing is control the narrative. You don't need to tell everybody, firstly, that you lost your job. Tell those that matter to you, but you don't need to spread the news on social media or anything like that. At some point, you may want to update your LinkedIn to open to work. But even that, unless it's absolutely crucial that you need to get a job straight away, I'd probably hold off for a week. Because all you're going to do is get more attention to yourself and people who care and want to know what happened. Don't say you were fired if you were fired. In my situation, I wasn't. I chose to leave the company. But if you were fired, say your job was eliminated. If AI took your job, which is possible nowadays, then that's perfectly good. But you control the narrative. That's what's important. The next thing you've got to do, really, and it's the immediate thing, is to sort out your finances. And you need to go through all of your expenditure, cut out basically anything that you don't need. Now, of course, this will depend on the resources that you have, the savings that you have. Always say to people, make sure you've got savings. 3 to 6 months is ideal. The more the better. Because particularly in this job market, I don't think anybody's job is really that safe anymore. So you need to go through your finances, budgeting, cut out what you don't need, keep what you do. Don't do it in a crazy, I must get rid of this kind of way. You do it in a clear, with clarity and function, and work out if you really do need something. One thing I've done, for example, is I've cancelled my TV subscription. I had TV over the internet. I had actually been thinking about doing that for a while, because to be honest with you, I don't watch much TV anymore. I find it too distracting. So that really wasn't a big thing to let go. But yeah, sort out your finances, but do it with clarity. Don't do it under haste or panic. The next thing you want to do is create, I guess you could call it like a holding pattern, because that's the biggest difference you're going to feel initially, personally, as far as feelings go, is that feeling of, what do I do? And so for that, you really need to create a structure. You know, some people could get depressed, and if that's you, you need to seek help, mental health. There's no shame in that. And that could show itself by, for example, not wanting to get up in the morning, feeling no enthusiasm, low energy, things like that. If you have that scenario, that situation, then you need to get help. But you want a structure in your life. You want to be able to get up at a regular time. It may not be the same time that you used to get up. I mean, if you were getting up at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m., because you had a 2-hour drive to the office, then obviously you don't need to get up at that time anymore. But you need a structure, so perhaps get up at 7, for example. Whatever feels comfortable to you. But you need a structure and times. So maybe go for a walk in the morning. I find walking is a great form of relaxation and peace. It really gives me the opportunity to clear the cobwebs out of my head. Also, a good idea, I suggest, is take a phone and open your notes app and just talk to your phone while you're walking. You could do it with your earbuds in your ear and just tell your phone whatever you're feeling, whatever thoughts you have. Maybe you have an idea of what you want to do next, but leave the notes app open and let it capture everything. And then later on, you can go through those notes and see if there's any golden nuggets in there that you can use. Have a regular coffee time, maybe 11 o'clock. After you walk, have a cup of coffee. In the afternoon, maybe do some gardening or do some jobs around the house that you've been meaning to do but haven't had time to do. If you're planning to look for work, don't spend all day looking for work. It will drain you quicker than you'll know. But you do want to spend probably 3 to 4 hours a day looking for work, and break it up. Maybe do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, or 2 hours in the evening. Break it up so it's not one long slog, because that will bring you down. It will. You need to be energized and focused when you're doing that. But again, you need structure during your day. That is so, so important. If you're not sure about what you want to do going forward, if you have the resources where you could possibly semi-retire or even retire, or even if you're just thinking about looking for another job, whatever scenario you're in, find 2 or 3 trusted friends who you value their friendship, and more importantly, you value their opinions and their thoughts, and seek advice. There's no shame in that. What you're going through right now, or what you might go through in the near future, is without question one of the toughest parts of your life, or could be one of the toughest parts of your life. When you're younger, in your 20s or 30s, it's easier to recover. In days gone by, I would even say easier to get a job. But now that you're in your 50s, it's not going to be the case. So you need to speak to 2 or 3 people who you trust, who you value their friendship, and more importantly, you value their opinions. And have a heart-to-heart. Talk to them. Get ideas. And again, if they're comfortable, I always say record. Anything you have, any thoughts, any ideas, any conversations that you feel may or may not benefit you, record them. Then you've got it. Because it's so easy, I know for myself as I get older, to forget things. And I'll be like, oh, what did they say? And I've forgotten. So be proactive and say, hey, do you mind if I record this? They're your friends, so I'm sure they'll be fine with that. So there are the 5 things. 2 actually combined into 1, but that's what happens when there's no script. But 1 is to control the narrative. 2 is your finance, sort that out. 3, create a holding pattern and create a structure for your days while you're in this position. 4, job searching. Break it up. Don't spend all day looking for jobs. That will demoralize you quicker than you realize. Break it up into 2-hour segments, say for example. And don't do any more than 4 hours in a day. And talk to your friends. Get advice. And again, I re-emphasize this. Always record your conversations. Ask permission first. But that way you have a true record of what was being said. Because again, like I said, at my age, I know I forget things terribly. The goal for your first week is not to land a job, although that may be nice, but it's to ground yourself. Find your rhythm. Find your pattern. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up about it all. Breathe and give yourself time to acknowledge what's happened. It's a huge change in your life, and we'll be there together. I'll see you on Thursday. Cheers.